Line up, you f***ing nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. What is up, guys? We are live for the money line. Finally have some UFC back in our lives. I'm with my guy, Mike Finch. What's happening, my brother?
Oh, good over here, man. Everything's good in the neighborhood. I got some workouts lined up tonight. AJ and I are talking about how hyped we are to hit these weights in the gym, man. We got goals for 2023 and we're smashing them. I got 3 clients tonight. I got sparring lined up and I'm lifting after it. I'm a savage, bro. I'm going to be out of the gym at like 1 in the morning and I could not be happier about it.
Let's go. Let's go, Finch. Yeah, man. You're going ham today. You're doing the show with me and then it's wartime, man. Let's go. I'm hyped for it, man. I'm hyped for this breakdown. That's totally different than the breakdown that we were ready for, right? It was supposed to be.
What happened?
That's crazy. He pulled out.
What happened?
I don't have
injured?
Injury. That's what I know. I know it's an injury. If anybody has more updated details, share with us in the comments. I'm sure we might get a troll or two fucking coming up with some crazy shit. But Kelvin Gastelum pulls out. Sean Strickland ready to come back in and fight. I got to say, I love it. You know, this guy, I feel like Strickland's the guy that I'm not worried about on short notice because he's sparring all the time. So his gas tank's ready. Like he's a guy that on short notice, I can still pick with high confidence. The only thing is you could say, okay, you're looking at a guy that, you know, he hasn't seen stylistically. This is a little bit of a different style than, you know, a Jared Cannonier or recent opponents. A long guy. He has length, you know, similar to like a Pereira. Kind of tall, but very different stylistic game. So I'm excited to break this shit down, Mike Finch.
To catch you guys up, Kelvin Gastelum was the main event against Nasruddin Imavov. He has to pull out today. This is Monday of fight week. Very difficult to get somebody to step up on short notice. But AJ, of course it's Sean Strickland, right? Like, who else, man? Of course it's Sean Strickland. And did you see it's going to be at 205 pounds? What that tells me is Sean said, yo, I'm in. However, don't make me cut no weight. And it's a 5-round fight. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot to think about there. There's a lot to digest because 25 minutes is no joke. If you know, I know Sean Strickland spars all the time, but anyway, I'm kicking this thing around. Before me and AJ just went live right now, I was like, I have no idea what I think about this fight. I learned about this an hour ago, you know? So we're going to have to mull through this one. I know you've got your pick, and we'll save it.
Let's save it. We'll save it till the very end. People, thank you for tuning in. We are glad to be back with the money line. I mean, we still were doing our thing during the off weeks, but glad to have a card to break down, man. I'm hyped to talk UFC.
I love it. Thank you for the hardcores who stuck with us on the, you know, Bellator versus Rising card, on all that stuff. We appreciate it. We had Juan Archuleta come on after the dub. Awesome. But we know the bulk of you guys want to hear about some UFC fights. Okay, we're back in the driver's seat. Let's go.
Back. Let's start it off. Our first fight on the card, Priscilla Cachoeira versus Sijara Eubanks. So Mike Finch, I feel like I have to go with Eubanks' wrestling ability and her grappling skill set over Cachoeira, who I find as an impressive and, you know, aggressive striker, good power in the hands, very brawl heavy centric. But I do feel like the way she will be willing to open up, a Sijara Eubanks, even just kind of willing to exchange a bit, shooting in takedowns, I feel like she's going to find success with that. So I got to go the wrestler, man. In this type of matchup where I know Cachoeira isn't awful on the floor, but I wouldn't call her high level with the grappling. She's not, I believe, past the blue belt in jiu-jitsu purely. So I know Eubanks has got that quality jiu-jitsu, good top control. I'm going to go with the grappler in this one. So I'm going Eubanks, Mike Finch. What are you thinking?
AJ, you're going with a woman who's 7-7, dog.
7-7. I know that's bad to do. I know. We've talked about this. Records, like it's the odds of 50-50. Coin flip it, baby. Let's go, Mike.
Holy shit, 7-7. I look for the reasons why she's 7-7. Definitely one of them, AJ, is the competition, man. She's fought some solid women, whether it be Ketlin Vieira. I mean, you go down the list, like the women she's lost to, you know, half of them are in the top, you know, 15 in the division. So I respect that, but Priscilla Cachoeira doesn't have an easy run either. And I always like to say when Priscilla Cachoeira fights, as soon as she eye gouged that woman, AJ, she should have been kicked out of the UFC. I hate picking her fights because that was one of the dirtiest things I've ever seen in MMA. Like, I was really mad at Husimov Palhares when he hung on to that heel hook in the UFC and they booted him. She tried to gouge a woman's eye out and they didn't. I don't understand. I don't understand. So somehow we're still talking about Priscilla Cachoeira. Here she is fighting Sijara Eubanks. I see what you're saying, AJ. And I love that AJ does not give a shit about picking the worst record. He's going to do it multiple times tonight. I already saw your MMA breakdown for the entire card, your preview and prediction. But that's awesome that you don't give a shit about the records. AJ's really just trying to break down what he sees when these two women clash, which is what you really want to look at, right? I think Priscilla Cachoeira can outstrike her, and I just don't trust the takedowns of Sijara Eubanks. She would need to get the takedowns and the control. I think they're competitive enough in the grappling, and that, Priscilla Cachoeira just more of a proven winner, AJ. Definitely not one I'm, breaking the bank to go bet on, obviously, but I'm going to be on the other side of you on the first fight of the night, my friend.
First fight of the year, too. Yeah. Okay, he's going Cachoeira.
Yeah, eye gouge. Third round, rips her eyes out like Game of Thrones.
Let's go. Let's ride with that side, Mike. The odds for it, though, are good. You have the underdog at plus 190. Eubanks minus 225. I think the odds are, a fair amount wider than I'd like to see. And yeah, betting on a 7-7 fighter, probably not a great idea. So I'm going to caution people away from that. Value is Cachoeira. I got to ride with who I think's going to win. I'm going to go Eubanks on a close decision, but Mike is on the other side, and you get big plus money. If you're confident with Mike Finch on the side of Cachoeira, I don't think it's a bad pick either, Mike. I'll tell you straight up, because this is one that I was looking at. I was really sitting at this matchup. I did the whole card. I went from top to bottom. I had my picks done, and I was having like a moment with this type of fight, and I had to go the side of the grappling. That's really where I went for on this one.
Understood, and I respect that. I just if Eubanks had better takedowns, like she was getting out grappled very handily by Ketlin Vieira, which is I just happened to rewatch that fight last night studying, but Ketlin's like really good. So again, some of those 7 losses are to really good women, and that's not, Priscilla Cachoeira will never be a champion in the UFC. I don't think that's the level we're talking about here. It'll probably be a competitive fight, AJ. It probably will be a tight fight. And me, I don't look at odds. What, Priscilla Cachoeira is the dog?
Yeah, dog money, Mike Finch plus 190.
All right. Wolf.
Let's go. Mike Finch on the dog. I'm going the favorite. Cachoeira for Finch. Me on Eubanks. Let's keep running up the card. Next matchup, Jimmy Flick versus Charles Johnson. Mike, so with Jimmy Flick, I was actually pretty high on him after he beat Durden. I said, okay, this is a guy who's very tricky with his jiu-jitsu and unconventional. Problem lies is he was still getting touched up on the feet. He's been knocked out 4 times in the past. And how I look at it, if just 2 years ago you decided to retire from the sport and become, I read his tweet, a regular guy, a regular dad of a regular family life. So obviously, that fire to be the best in the world was gone. Now maybe some, heartbreak. I don't know the exact details of what made him turn around and want to come back and kind of full 180. But I don't like the fact that he already retired from the sport early in the UFC run. I look at Charles Johnson. I don't see a great fighter. I see a guy that's really athletic. I see a guy that can kickbox and grapple decently. I do think he's got punching power enough so to hurt as Jimmy Flick. Jimmy Flick not committing to the full-time fighter lifestyle. If maybe Jimmy Flick would have been sticking around, who knows what his record would have been by now. And maybe I'm on that side. But I can't go with the guy off 2 years, quit the sport, wanting to do other things. I got to go Johnson. I'm going to go win knockout too, Mike.
Jimmy Flick is the better submission fighter here. He is very dangerous on the ground, but can he get it there reliably with Johnson? Probably not. And you don't want the smoke with the Muay Thai man. Mr. Johnson has got some knees, shins, punches, elbows he's going to be throwing in this fight. I think he's going to look really good doing it. You hit the nail on the head. This is not a sport where you want to do this part-time. Okay. You don't want to be a part-time cage fighter. You don't want to be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And this is not the fight to come back to if you are that way. You know, this is not the CM Punk on the other side. This is definitely a big problem. If I remember correctly, LFA champ, right? Johnson was. And man, his Muay Thai is sick. And he's got that UFC rub now. He's got a couple UFC fights at this point. He's going to look good doing it, man. I got Johnson all day.
Mike Finch and I both confident on Johnson, and the bookies totally agree. Minus 305, Charles Johnson.
Oh, shit.
Jimmy Flick plus 245. You know, these lines opened up near pick'ems, and then it just went heavy all on Johnson. And I think people are kind of thinking the same as us, right? Consistently fighting versus a guy who didn't want to do this 2 years ago. You got to go the side of the fighter. And stylistically, I don't think even if Flick was around, it's a super easy fight. Like you mentioned, Johnson's got some stand-up skills, more so definitely than Jimmy Flick. When I see Jimmy Flick's style, I see like good jiu-jitsu. But the thing is, he doesn't
total
have the
finisher.
wrestling. He's a total finisher on the ground, which is really fun to watch. I like the matchup. And maybe if Jimmy Flick was fighting a wrestler, I'd be more apt to be like, okay, maybe this guy puts himself in a bad spot. But Johnson's, you know, comfortability in the striking and takedown defense are why I'm going his side.
100%, man. I don't think that Flick will be able to decide where the fight takes place. AJ, let me bring myself down to your level. Are we good now? There we go. And in the comments, Hype MMA, glad to have you. Appreciate you guys. That's your boy Mike. Baby. Lay the damn scoop. Hype MMA is talking about Kelvin Gastelum and I sparring before. We'll get to it. We'll get to it in the main event. Glad to have you guys. Good to see you, Hype.
He's the one that injured him, bro. Mike Finch. Holy shit.
Come on, man. Hey, I can't tell him yet, bro. We gotta, you know, we gotta hang that. We gotta hang that one for later.
Yeah, we got it in just a little while. Now, I will mention the odds for knockout, plus 100 for Johnson. Not great value, but it is plus money, better than minus 300. So got to mention that. Should be an interesting fight. And the first two are intriguing matchups to start the year off. I'm actually pretty interested in this whole card. I guess it's also like I now appreciate the UFC more when it goes away. We complain week 3. What the fuck? This is a weak card. Oh, they're lacking. This is C-, you know? And then the UFC disappears for 4 weeks and it's like, dude, give me anything. I don't care. Give me anything. Give me UFC. I need it. Nothing compares.
We just want to see some fights.
That's it.
It's good. It's good. It's definitely good, bro. I just got my contract today for Bellator February 4th. I'm gonna see Fedor versus Ryan Bader live, Johnny Eblen versus Tokov. Like, yeah, I love this shit. We need to keep fist fights going, and I'm glad the UFC's back. It only feels right.
It does, man. It does. I'm glad to have it. Mike Finch, let's keep running. Next fight on the card is Daniel Argueta versus Isaac Dulgarian. So when I looked at this one, Mike, what jumped out to me was Dulgarian's wrestling background and his athleticism. So I was like, this might be one of those guys that's being slept on a bit. I know Argueta's got a bit of experience now on the Ultimate Fighter in the UFC, having a good run elsewhere. And I get people like him. And you know what? He's a junkyard dog type of guy. He doesn't break. So even if you look at that Damon Jackson 3rd round, he's coming at Damon Jackson with fire. So I do like Argueta's toughness and the fact that he doesn't quit. But I'm looking at Dulgarian and I'm like, is this some kid to keep an eye on? Is he got some goods? I kind of have this weird feeling that he's pretty solid, man. I like the wrestling base. I know it's D1 wrestling. I know Argueta, I believe, did the D2 wrestling thing. I know it doesn't matter necessarily what division, but then I think back to that Stotts and Sabatello fight, and I'm like, that was D1
kind of matters.
D2, right? It kind of, in a sense, it does. So I'm going to go with D1 Dulgarian to get the win. Nice. Over Argueta, Mike Finch. What are you thinking here?
Nice. And he's the dog, yes?
Yeah. He's a pretty fair-sized dog. Right now, the odds seem to be sitting at about plus 170 for Mr. Dulgarian.
Yeah, that was kind of my influencer here because I was bouncing back and forth between these two. I was not too familiar with Dulgarian, and then I started researching him. Yeah, I saw his high school state championship in wrestling. I saw his last couple fights. I mean, the biggest problem I have betting on him, AJ, is who has he fought, bro? He's had like one fight against one good guy who he knocked out in his last fight. Sick, but most of the guys he's fighting are, 1-3. I don't know what the records are, but when I was looking at it, it was not impressive like Argueta, the definitely more of the UFC rub already, and so the UFC debut, it makes me not want to bet on this fight, to be honest. My initial pick was Argueta, and now that you picked the underdog, I feel like going back to it. But no, the more I researched his wrestling, the more I liked it, and overall his striking looks pretty clean, bro. Doesn't make stupid mistakes, hands up, chin tucked, looks pretty quick, hits the takedowns with ease. Again, it's a different level of competition. I would have to see him in the gym gym. I'd have to really do some private investigations to really see where he's at. From what I've seen, he has the skills to win this fight, man. So I think we could double up on the dog. I would not hate that. But again, sort of not enough evidence for me to have like confidence behind it. Not a fight I'm betting on.
Totally fair, Mike. It is plus money. The side of Argueta is minus 200. And yeah, Dulgarian at about plus 170. I like the plus money side in this matchup. I like it stylistically too. I'm not just going, oh, record's good. Let me, pick a guy as a dog. I think the skill set could be there to match Argueta. Tricky fight. Like you said, bro, when you look at it, I don't look at this matchup and think, man, this is a crazy mismatch or anything. I just look, yes, Argueta's fought the better fighters. Dulgarian might have the higher ceiling in the sport, so I got to ride with that. But 100%, like something that I think we can learn a lot from with boxing, though, is like when you watch a guy that, even in boxing, I know the records are like kind of padded in a sense, but if you got a guy that's 27-0, right, versus a guy who's 19-0, and, the kid that's 19-0, he looks like a good athlete, got some good skills too, and maybe by the time he's 27-0, we'd be ready for that guy. The favorite type veteran status tends to pull through. I don't know, with this matchup here, that could be the case. It was something I was thinking about watching that Gervonta Davis card, because like you're looking at some of these fights, like, dude, all these guys have like high level experience. And then you look at one fight, a dude's 21-1 versus 27-0. And it's like, I feel like, I don't know, those 5 fights make a difference. So maybe on this one here, Mike, but I'm going to go Dulgarian, still going dog. But now I'm scaring everybody off of the bet by talking about
that's the same thing I did, man. I think it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm excited for it. Good matchup. Dulgarian. Mike and I's pick. The next one, this is Team Oliveira, Nascimento, Allan Nascimento. I like him here over Mr. Carlos Hernandez. Mike, what are your stylistic breakdowns for this one? Because I do think it's a fun little matchup here.
It is a fun matchup. I think Nascimento is dangerous on the ground. Certainly Hernandez does not want to play around with this snake on the ground. He's going to get bit. But I don't think he will, man. And I think Hernandez has such a good output. He'll just keep picking away that I think he takes this one on the cards. And I know I'm the only one who thinks that, but I could see a pathway for him to get this decision. I'm guessing he's the underdog.
He is big plus, Mike. He's sitting at plus 255.
Come on, dog.
Come
on, dog. He's pretty damn good at defending takedowns, taking the center of the cage, and landing twice as many shots as you. I think he does it. Decision.
I like that side, man. I'm going Nascimento, but I respect the side. And I want to mention too, because Hernandez is like a high volume boxing guy. Nascimento's stand-up game, to me, when I see it, more kick heavy and like
no hands,
based. Exactly. There's no
hands, bro.
So if he can't get Hernandez down, or if they don't even go to the floor, I do think it would be trouble. And that's why Nascimento has such a wide line, is like I don't want to say unplayable bet, because tons of people will throw him in the parlays and he might end up pulling this one out, but he's not my favorite. There's better bets to make. I think there's guys you back with more consistency. He looks good in matchups where guys, like you said, play his game. But if Hernandez is like, we ain't fucking around on the floor, and he can defend those takedowns and they box in a boxing match, I'm picking Hernandez. So Mike Finch, I respect the side. I am going Nascimento because I'm going to say he does find a way to get it on the ground, but he's a concerning guy to bet at 3-1. Like, the odds are too fucking wide. Nascimento is not this wizard of a fucking takedown specialist. His hands are not Oliveira-like. He's got good jiu-jitsu, okay wrestling, and sloppy boxing. And that's the honest breakdown of him right there. Can he win it? Yes. Will he win it? We shall see. I'll pick him, but Mike's on the other side. And at minus 300, you're not playing Nascimento. If you want to stay safe, you want to risk it, go for it. Throw a little down, maybe in like a long shot parlay, but like, dude, it's too wide, man.
Huge warning sign on those odds for Nascimento. No way am I betting on Nascimento with those odds. Not that it's not a close competitive fight. Not that Nascimento can't win by submission. I think he can. Not that Nascimento doesn't have good kicks. He was kicking the shit out of Tagir Ulanbekov. And, I do think that, the problem is he's not a great wrestler. He was getting smashed by Team Khabib there. He was not, and I mean, who doesn't, but specifically, like, he could not wrestle at all with him. And I think that Hernandez's wrestling is going to be good enough in this fight, man. And I think the Valley Flow striking prospect looks good. I got to call him out one more time. Hype MMA, Chicago, baby. Let's go. He called me out. He knows that I've called fights before for Carlos Hernandez and that he is a Chicago guy. So am I biased? I don't know. I really feel like he's going to be able to out kickbox Nascimento in this fight. He has better hands. He has better output. And so it'll be interesting to see how Nascimento deals with that. And now you tell me how wide the odds are. Dog City on this one, my brother. Second dog, and I'm feeling better about this one.
Yeah, no, I respect that, Mike. And it's like, even though you have that personal connection, I mean, I'm seeing the same things, even though I'm picking the other side, like you said. So they definitely are things that would make me pick that side, especially like the boxing different. It's concerning, man. Nascimento at minus 300 is weird. I would much rather see him at minus 150. That's a bet for me. But minus 300, you're telling me that this guy's like a near sure thing, and I'm not going to say
it's not.
It's not.
Yeah, there's no sure thing in this fight. That's for sure. So, yeah, if you're looking at the odds, maybe these are the worst odds on the card. I think the bookies got this one wrong.
Let's go. I agree, Mike Finch. Let's keep running up, guys. Next matchup, Javid Basharat versus Mateus Mendonça. Mike, this is a really fun strikers matchup.
Hell yeah.
I love this fight. I think it's going to be heat. Give us the Mike Finch breakdown.
Dude, Mateus Mendonça got that shoot-to box. Diego Lima, right? Team Diego Lima. Dude, they're dangerous out there, man. You could see that style that he brings, but Basharat is scary, bro. Basharat fights really well down the gun. If you guys, he doesn't train at Jackson Wink, spoiler, but if you guys listen to Coach Mike Winklejohn, he talks about looking down the gun and having control of what's in front of you. And Basharat does that expertly. He really controls kind of when the fight takes place and how it takes place in front of him, controls that gun really well, kind of always keeps you in the crosshairs firing down the pipe. And he always kind of keeps you right in front of him. And man, he could stalk people down. And I think he's going to be significantly better when they lock up, when they get in a clinch, when they get on the ground. He's so damn physically powerful. I think that, shoot the box is dangerous. You could always get clipped with some shit fighting those guys, but Basharat looks like a problem, AJ. I got to go with him.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think he's going to pick Mendonça apart striking. Mendonça's a guy, power heavy, that shoot the box style. I think he'll come in with big shots. Basharat will snipe him from distance. And I will say I'm going grappling advantage. Basharat too. I mean, against Tony Gravely, who I regard as a guy that's pretty good on the floor, he's beating him up. Yeah. I like Basharat, dude. I think he's really fucking good. I think he's a kid to keep an eye on. Mendonça, I think, is fun, and he's so young too. Is Mendonça, is he 22? 23. So he's mad young. Nice. He's younger than I am, bro. He's gonna be good in the future. But right now, I think it's a Basharat show.
It's the Basharat show. The tough thing for me is, like, how does this fight end? I would just tell you guys to money line it if you want to bet on it, because I think Basharat wants a finish here, but he went to decision with Tony Gravely, right? Like he's not the best finisher I've ever seen. So, my prediction would be decision. However, I think his intentions are he wants to make a fucking statement. And the shoot the box style, man, they're aggressive, which also leaves them available to be countered, to be hit. I think Basharat's going to go for a TKO, going to go for a submission. We'll see how it plays out. I would just caution you guys to money line it if you're going Basharat, even if he's the favorite. I assume he is.
Oh yeah, bro. He is the widest of favorites. Minus 350 Basharat, plus 285 Mendonça. Mike, what I like though is what you said. Even though I was initially feeling decision, I'm looking at the prop bet knockout plus 400 for Basharat. I don't think it's a bad $25 bet. Throw a little something down. I don't think it's a bad idea.
Well, because that's the thing that will be most readily available, right? Is these two are going to clash.
Right. When I feel like when you got a guy like Mendonça who comes forward to brawl, even though Basharat, lately hasn't been Mr. Finish, I think that's the guy that could fall into the trap of finish, man.
I could see it, AJ. I could see it. I'm telling you what, that's what he knows he wants out of this fight. Basharat's got to be thinking, in the future here, I'm going to have some big contenders in front of me. I'm going to have some big fights. Right now, I need to get these knockout performance bonuses. I need these finishes. I think that's what his team is going to have him hunting for. I don't think he'll be overly satisfied going all 3 rounds in this fight. So I could see that happening, man. I gotta pick decision based on what I've previously seen from him. I believe his last 2 fights went to decision. I don't have Tapology up. I'm sure AJ does. But, this is a fairly tough test. But if you're gonna finish somebody, I think that the style that he's up against here has that availability. So I could see it, man. You guys know me. The show's called Moneyline. If you want to be a little safer, if you want to be a little smarter, Moneyline, brother. That's my advice. You want to be a wild man? You want to live on the fucking wild side? You just heard AJ call for that knockout, man. You know what I mean? Go for it. You're going to have even more fun watching this shit.
I'm saving this, Mike. This is something that I want to introduce for the new year. Now that we switched to Monday, I'm definitely going to, as we talk here and props come up that we kind of both think might be there or something that I'm just feeling great about in the moment, I'm going to write it down because now this week's Best of MMA Bets is after Moneyline. So it's going to be cool. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be better than ever. So Monday Moneyline, the book of bets is going to be right here to write down some sneaky plays right here. Let's go.
I like it. Nice, man. Good shit. Okay. Well, now you could take that over to the next show. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be good, brother. Let's keep running. Next matchup. Fun fight. I got Nick Fiore versus Mateus Rębecki. Nick Fiore, for some reason, man, the photographer just was not on his game that day.
Yeah.
So they got him all shadowed out. Bro. I don't know what happened to him.
You're in the shadow,
so blurry, bro. I was looking for a picture of Fiore. I'm like, wow, this is gonna look like I took it on a pickle. So I said, I'm better off just throwing the straight black.
He looks like he's getting interviewed by the FBI. He's like doing one of those shows, and they changed his voice.
Oh, he is Italian. He looks
like one of those.
He's under the radar. Listen, you know what's weird? He's got a doppelganger too in the fight gang. There is Nick Fiore.
You mentioned that also.
It blew my mind.
Same
and
name.
They look similar. Same name, same look, different records. The dude is 3-3. So I don't know if you're doing film study on it yourselves, just note to the people, don't get the 2 mixed up because they're not the same guy.
Interesting.
Rębecki, man, he's the pick, Mike. Come on. It's just, I can't go Fiore.
Rębecki is a bulldozer, bro. I thought in your previous breakdown you walked through beautifully how Nick has never really fought anyone, and he does take the back nice. He does have 3 rear naked strangles. A rear naked strangle because you choke on your food, but you strangle a person by cutting off the blood to their brain. He's New England Cartel. Those guys could fight, bro. I mean, Calvin Kattar could fight, but Mateus moves his head so much, almost too much, dude. He's he's got good pressure, and then when he gets a hold of guys, I don't know if there's anybody stronger in the weight class. He looks like a trash compactor. You could just have him smashing shit for waste management, man. He's really going to get on top and smash Nick here. I think he's going to finish him. So if there's any pick that I'm confident in a finish in, I'm going to have to say that Rębecki finishes him in the first round.
It should be, I think, a one-sided Rębecki show. Moneyline, you can't even touch it. It's minus 700. It's crazy wide. Fiore plus 525 dog. Let's see. Inside distance, Rębecki is minus 185. Rębecki to win by decision is plus 225. I don't know. This Fiore kid looks pretty solid on the floor, but I don't know if he's going to survive here. It's a tricky one as far as method of victory with little to no about Fiore fighting anyone of note. You saw in the breakdown, I was hey, he's got 2 fights against the great Jay Ellis, who's 17 and 105. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. He did him like that. Jay, we're sorry, bro. Why do you keep fighting people, Jay? Jay, they're hiring at other places. You don't have to do this, bro. Why do you have 150 fights, dog? What's going on, man? And what's up, athletic commissions? When a guy's on a 15 fight skid, can they have a conversation? Come on, man.
I don't know. They let him go. What's crazy is I'm seeing he has his own martial arts gym and shit like that. I'm dude, that's got to be hurting your stock. If my coach is 15 and 105, I'm what has he got, 1 leg or something like that? Like, I don't know.
Hey, man, a guy just recently fought with no legs out here in California, and he won. So don't be telling me that, without legs, you can't get it done, AJ. No triangles are available, but you could still get it done, man. There's no excuse for that losing streak.
Shit, man. Tricky, man. Tricky. Jay Ellis, shout out to he's a legend, though, still. Think about it. UFC breakdown, and we're talking about a guy who's got 15 and 105. If he was 5 and 17, we'd never mention him. But
we'd never mention him. That's true.
Yeah.
He stands out.
He does.
Jay, you've lost so many fights that you are now the topic of conversation here, my friend. I respect everybody who puts that mouthpiece in and goes out there and risks it, But there comes a point when the juice is not worth the squeeze, as has been once said in a solid movie that I won't mention. The juice is not worth the squeeze, and I feel like after 100 losses, maybe before 100 losses, you got to have that conversation with your team.
Yeah. I think 20 is
20 L's. What about like Jeremy Horn? How many losses has he got?
Well, but not like if you have single digit wins and 20 losses. If you're 5 and 20, you should probably not keep fighting. If you're 7 and 19, it's like, ooh. I wonder how much money he makes, though.
Jeremy Horn, 92 wins, 22 losses. AJ, based on that previous statement that I'm now taking out of context since he's changed his mind, would tell you that Jeremy Horn should not be fighting. Jeremy Horn choked out Chuck Liddell, okay? It's not about 20 losses.
I already covered it up, man. I already covered myself before you brought it up, Mike Bitch. But you know what I'm saying, though. Like,
I know what you're saying, dog.
If the record is very lopsided. But you know what, man? Fuck it. If you want to make some money, and they need opponents. Listen, in boxing, there's plenty of them. There's a guy, dude. There was a guy 2 and 52 that fought out of England. 2 and 52. They said, he's going to be a Commonwealth champion. I'm like, what fucking delusion we live in? I'll knock him out right now. And I haven't fucking put the gloves on how long? 2 and 52.
Whoa. AJ. Whoa. AJ, we got to get you some fights before you go talking all that shit, bro. Come on. AJ, did you box? You did box.
Yes, I've fought before in boxing.
All right, so we got to respect AJ. Yeah. See, I respect people who actually put it on the fucking line and get in there. Those of you guys talking shit who have never actually stepped into the cage or the boxing ring, you don't understand as much as somebody who has. So AJ, you've got that right.
It's a fucking war, bro. It's fucking intense, man. It's the fatigue is the main thing you feel if it goes on. Right. Fucking every muscle in your trap is fried. The next day, your neck is fucking killing you. It's a different game, bro. It's different. I'm not fucking jumping to get back in. That tells you something. I'm fucking lifting weights and getting big, bro.
Yeah, well, I see you out there, bro. Keep killing it, man. Go follow AJ on Instagram. He's got his Fitstagram, and he's killing it out there, doing bicep curls with his chest poking out. My man AJ's killing it. So I would say people should call it after the records get too lopsided to wrap this up. And we don't want to see anybody getting brain damage out there. 55 losses. That's not good.
That's not good. It's not good. Let's get back to this fight, Mike. We're going on a tangent about fucking brain health and shit. It's good. It was actually a good tangent, man. There's a tangent that could be clipped into its own video, to be honest with you, man. That's a money move.
Go ahead, cut that. Go ahead and cut that. Advice from the Moneyliners, all right? When to stop, all right? Yeah. When you need to have the Brendan Schaub conversation.
Yes. Yeah. It's got to be thorough and, realistic. Jay, we'll sit you down. Jay, we love you, buddy, but you ain't going to be in the UFC, my friend. Let's go. Mike Finch. We're going on Rębecki, guys. We're all on Rębecki. This is one of those smash fights. Imagine we're like Rębecki ends up losing and like Fiore's like the next great thing. And we just totally fucking didn't give him any chance in the breakdown. Prove it to us, Fiore. But our odds are very strongly against you. Not only ours, but everybody is picking Rębecki. Come on.
Yeah, when you get in the cage with Rębecki, you might as well be in a china shop with a bull, bro. I feel like you're getting the horns, man. I feel like it's not good. So yeah, I'll take him all day. The smaller the cage, the better, by the way, because Rębecki is a bulldozer.
He's gonna run him over. Let's keep running. Next fight is our featured prelim. It's Abdul Razak Alhassan taking on a dangerous striker who I like the style of, Claudio Ribeiro. Mike, I'll let you break this one down for us and give us your take first.
Look, Alhassan's got some nice kicks. I'm not super impressed by his hands, but he can definitely strike, and he's a decent mixed martial arts fighter. And something I see with Claudio Ribeiro is that he throws so heavy and such big shots, especially when he gets excited, that he gets overextended. Like a good boxer, now I'm going to go way too far, but like an Usyk or somebody who's a great boxer can just totally expose a style like that. When you overextend your punches and you Teddy Atlas calls it taking pictures. When you throw a punch and you don't move afterwards and you're available, you can be countered and knocked out, you know? And so I do think in his future, Ribeiro is going to get slept. And I did see how hyped my man AJ was on Ribeiro. And when I saw that, it made me dig in a little more. I'm like, am I tripping? And no, man, I think this dude's getting knocked the fuck out eventually. Is this the fight? No, I rewatched Chaos Williams laying out Alhassan, and I'm like, man, Chaos Williams does shoot down the pipe, though. When Chaos Williams throws that right hand, it's like a bullet coming out of a barrel, and Ribeiro is totally different, right? His shit's coming out of right field, left field. Do I think he'll find the target? Yes, we got to go Ribeiro knockout.
Mike Finch and I both on Ribeiro knockout. I think Alhassan is getting flatlined in this one, and the odds are pick'ems. You got -110 on both sides. Not my favorite like money line bet, and you don't even want to play Ribeiro at +120 for the knockout. I think what you can consider doing, actually take it back because it's shit. I was gonna say under 1.5 is -215, but dude, it's bad. Like I thought it was gonna be like -125 or something. I don't know though. Like you mentioned though, it's not like I'm not seeing these flaws in Ribeiro. I just don't think Alhassan is all that great. I see him as like a super explosive, athletic, and strong guy
with his legs.
He's got the kick. His kick was nasty versus what is it, Di Chirico? That was brutal. But I'm seeing Ribeiro catching him with a big punch and just flatlining him. It's interesting though because Alhassan did give Joaquin Buckley a really good fight, and Buckley's pretty solid. So
yeah, Alhassan could kickbox, bro. Alhassan's Muay Thai is good. But I see what you're seeing as far as the snap and the power difference. When these two get exchanging punches, can't be good for Alhassan, man. I think Ribeiro knocks him out too.
We're on the same side. Mike Finch and I both agree on our featured prelim that it's going to be Ribeiro with his hand raised at the end of it. Let's jump to the main card. If you guys haven't, make sure to smash that like button. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. And note this, Moneyline Mondays from now on. Listen to it, guys. We're doing it on Monday. We got to bring the heat Monday. First thing, there's a couple benefits. One major one is our recaps of the previous card are a lot more relevant. When it's Thursday, everybody forgot what happened last week on the fight card. But now Monday, we get to do a fun recap show at the beginning.
I love that.
I'm happy, man. I think it gives us a lot to talk about. And it
we'll
also
start with that.
We start with the recap, and it keeps like the replayability of our show throughout the whole week. So Moneyline Mondays is our new thing. And you get the Finch's picks way earlier in the week. You guys have to wait till Thursday. So if you're looking to catch some lines and you like picking what Mike Finch is seeing, you got them right here on Monday now.
Fade me, motherfuckers. Go ahead. I saw somebody earlier in the comments. Fade me if you want to lose that cap. If you want to lose that money, go ahead. I love it though. And Moneyline Mondays, we're seeing more of you guys show up. So that's what we want. We want to make it so that you guys have the optimal, you guys have the say. You guys tell us when you want us to go. You want us to go Saturday night right after the fucking fights, that's when we're going, okay? But Monday seems like it. We'll keep rolling forward with Monday. I love it, AJ.
Moneyline Mondays, guys. In the first fight on the main card is Usman Nurmagomedov. What did I say? Umar Nurmagomedov.
Usman. You guys are taking him from Bellator? What the fuck? You're taking him, bro? Come on. We were gonna give him a nice title fight versus AJ McKee or something. Now you're trying to take our champ?
We have him now. We're bringing him in, and we're forcing Barcelos up to 55 to just get slaughtered.
Barcelos is toast.
He's
toast then.
I think Barcelos is going to lose this one too, but the odds are stupid wide for this fight. Like Nurmagomedov name gets inflated a fuckload, especially this Nurmagomedov, actually like, Team Eagle Nurmagomedov. You look at Barcelos, he beat a Nurmagomedov before though. It was Said Nurmagomedov.
That's right.
It's not related to Habib. Different team. That's the dog fighter team. They're a lot more striking oriented, whereas this Nurmagomedov is going to be looking to wrestle. I think the odds are stupid wide, but I got Umar Nurmagomedov winning a decision here, Mike.
Same thing. Next fight. No, I'm just kidding. Umar Nurmagomedov, I actually just saw a video of Khabib out wrestling him in the gym and kind of like giving little shots to the camera, like, oh, these guys ain't ready for me. And it's so interesting to see like how much better Khabib is at wrestling than them, and then how much they could ragdoll other people. It's just crazy to watch. I know we're talking different weight classes and everything, but even just straight skill, there's so many levels to wrestling, and Nurmagomedov's just much higher than the others in the division. I think Barcelos is going to struggle with that. Now, if he's stuck on the feet with Barcelos is dangerous. I think maybe the odds are too wide, to take a stab at Nurmagomedov, because I could see him going through some adversity on the feet. Barcelos' Muay Thai is pretty nasty. He's got a nice pop. He's pretty explosive. I just don't think he'll be able to defend him on the fence, AJ. I think the problem is when Umar gets him up against the fence, he's going to hit those trips. He's going to hit those takedowns. And when he does, it's his world, bro. We got to go Nurmagomedov, of course. And I bet it'll go all three.
Yeah, I think we're going long. I'm going Nurmagomedov, win via decision. As far as money line, you're not playing it at -700 for Umar Nurmagomedov. Bro, it's crazy wide. Plus 475 Barcelos.
700 Vegas. Yeah. Come on.
What, bro?
Come on.
It's Nurmagomedov. The last name gets him that line. And like, dude, just 4 fights ago, 3-4 fights ago, I remember the Hani Barcelos hype train, right? Before he lost to Victor Henry, this was Jose Aldo 2, essentially. Like, people compared him a little bit. And now he's fucking a plus 500 underdog against Nurmagomedov. So It is what it is. That's the fight game. I do think Nurmagomedov wins by decision. So do the bookies. It's -155 for that decision prop. So not really a great betting fight, bro. Maybe over 2.5. I don't even like it. I don't even want to play that. I don't even care about that. I'm not playing it.
-155 is much more attractive than that money line, though.
Yeah, it's a lot better than -700.
I mean, if you want to, take a stab.
Yeah. I worry he ends up getting the finish. I'll be pissed.
Really? You think he's going to finish Barcelos?
Probably not,
bro. So that line, now that you said that line, I'm going to have to think about that one.
All right, Mike, I'm going to write that one down.
Write that one down for me. That was a way better line. -700. Get the fuck out of here. Did you guys know, heading into the fight, Pat Downey was I believe it was a -2,000 favorite against Christian Eccles, gets knocked out in like first or second round.
That was a great shot.
The uppercut.
Yeah.
He heard him before that uppercut. Everybody looks at the uppercut. It was like Pat was out on his feet already. So sometimes the bookies get it way wrong, I wish I could have talked to you guys about that fight, but you guys know the whole I work for Bellator thing. But I knew that line was too wide, I knew that line was way too wide. I was like, he's fighting another wrestler, so sometimes the odds makers do just get it way too wide, and this sounds like one at 700, bro. They're tripping on that one, man.
Yeah, crazy wide. But pick is the massive favorite, Umar Nurmagomedov. Let's talk about the next fight. It is ladies going after it. Ketlin Vieira,
good girl fight.
Pennington, really good. And I think
come on, girl fight haters. This is gonna be a good one.
This is good. It's a number one contender fight, Mike. The winner of this fight has to be next for Amanda Nunes. I don't want to see this fucking Pena trilogy right away. Okay, she got the first fight. She got destroyed in the second. Yeah, she had a couple punches she landed. No. If the universe is to align Ketlin Vieira with a win this weekend, I do believe her and Amanda Nunes is the match to make. I think that's a great fight. It's hard to sell me Raquel Pennington Nunes too when she was getting absolutely destroyed in the first one, but she's on a 4-fight win streak. Something to note. She's doing well.
Solid point, man. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Aspen Ladd, Macy Chiasson. Yeah, some good names too. Bro, I gotta say, I am a Ketlin Vieira fan. I think she's gotten significantly better since being in the UFC. I think I mentioned I was watching her and Sijara Eubanks. Her striking looks a lot better since that fight. If you watch the way she fought Holly and Misha, and man, I don't think Raquel Pennington is going to have much for her. I do think Ketlin Vieira is one of the best kickboxers we've seen in female MMA at this point, and she's just starting to show that. Like early on in the UFC, that wasn't really the case, but Andre Pederneiras is the architect that made Jose Aldo, that made who was the 135-pound champ forever?
Henan Barao at one point.
Henan Barao, thank you. Wow, that name escaped me. Henan Barao's career was like this and then like that.
Yeah.
But when it was like this, it was very impressive that Andre Pederneiras was his coach. And Jose Aldo, you know, I don't need to tell you guys about how good Jose Aldo's Muay Thai is. It seems like Andre Pederneiras has really focused in on Ketlen Vieira. He has an emotional connection. Like when you see him in the corner, when he's cornering Jose, that's the type of energy he's bringing to the Ketlen Vieira fights. I think he's got another champion on his hands, man. I think Ketlen Vieira is able to outstrike, outgrapple, just be a better mixed martial artist than Rocky Pennington. I know the UFC loves Rocky Pennington. I know Dana White loves Rocky Pennington. I think Rocky Pennington is going to get way outpaced here because Ketlen Vieira's output is going to be much higher. She's going to be able to fight at range better. I like Rocky's boxing and clinch game, but I think she's getting cooked, my man. I got to say, I'm a Ketlen Vieira fan. I'm on the train. I think she might even get her out of there in the third with some punches, some knees, some elbows, and maybe like a standing TKO would be sick. I got Vieira. Give me Brazil.
Brazil for the win. I'm with you, bro. I'm going Ketlen Vieira by decision here. I think she beats Raquel. I always call Raquel Pennington like the queen of the clinch. She's strong there, but I think Vieira can match it. And I feel like our Muay Thai is a little better, a little bit bigger. And I think that she's got the momentum in her favor as far as like the prospect to watch. And I'm going to pick her to get it done and fight Amanda Nunes sometime this year. I need a new face for Nunes to fight. Like if you tell me we're doing Pena Nunes 3, I might, you know what I should do to boycott it? We'll go to that fight. And when as soon as the main event comes, I'll turn the fucking stream off and that's it. We're not even covering it. At the end of the day, that shouldn't be it. I want to see Ketlen Vieira get a shake. So I would like to see her get a W this weekend. Hard fight, but yeah, I'm with you, man. Vieira and her are even money too. The odds are pick'ems here. You're looking at both sides nearing -110. I mean, Vieira's -115, Pennington -105. It's pick'ems. I also like the idea of Vieira to win decision +160. Okay, it's all right.
I could see it going all three. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. You know, if you look at their previous fights, they do like to go all three, right? I mean,
they do.
Let's see here. Obviously, she went, 5 rounds with Holly Holm and Miesha Tate. That's a lot of work, bro. When you go 5 rounds like that, you get better. You definitely is a big difference doing that full 25 minutes. And then Rocky Pennington got that guillotine over Macy Chiasson. Other than that, the 3 dubs are all decisions. So yeah, if you were going to do like odds, right, a decision would be the most statistically likely. I just think Ketlen Vieira is going to try to pour it on Rocky, man. I think she wants this. And it's similar to the previous fight I was talking about, where, some of these contenders are like trying to make a statement. I think this is a moment for Ketlen Vieira to make a statement.
I'm with you. Mike Finch and I both on Ketlen Vieira to beat Raquel Pennington. I believe #1 contender fight in her versus Amanda Nunes sometime soon. I want to see it. Give me that fight. I want to see it. Dude, this next fight is actually heat too. It's Roman Kopylov taking on Punahele Soriano. Striker's delight, bro. What do you think, Mike? Do you like the more power heavy Soriano or the combination striker, more kickboxing heavy Kopylov? Who also I think is a little too upright, to be honest. I'm going to throw that straight out.
That's what I was about to say. It's funny. I was about to mimic his style real quick. Yeah. Kopylov is like a praying mantis out there. I don't know. He's very he's not that dangerous as to where Soriano's got fucking bombs on his hands. He's dropping people like that bridge in Crimea. You know what I'm saying? He's fucking putting people down. So I feel like another storyline that hasn't really been talked about is that Soriano and Dan Ige are like high school best friends, right? Trained together their whole lives. They're over there at Extreme Couture. They're fighting back-to-back fights on this card. They're bringing that good energy in together. So I think Soriano is going to go out there and make a statement for his boy Dan Ige. I think he's going to try to let his hands go. I do think there's a small psychological effect that has him fighting on the card with his boy Dan Ige. And man, I could see him putting some punches on Kopylov. Now, with that being said, Kopylov is not the biggest risk taker, Kopylov is not the type of guy just to leave his chin out there and get overexposed. So I could also see Soriano just kind of landing some shots and then Kopylov kind of laying off the gas pedal and them going all 3 rounds. So Soriano knockout or decision, pretty tough for me. Shit. I got to pick one. I'll say he knocks him out for Dan Ige. How about that?
I'm going knockout too, man. We're going Soriano. I think he's going to sleep Kopylov. He's got heavy hands. Kopylov's hittable. And I see him getting busted up in fights against guys that aren't really that powerful. I think when Soriano hits him, he's going to go out. So, yeah, I'm going Soriano KO. I'm feeling pretty good about this one, actually. As far as the betting lines, it's minus 150. Soriano, great value there. Kopylov plus 130. I like his advantages here, man. I'm pretty confident he gets the win. The KO prop I want to mention, too, is plus 200.
I like it, but you know me, show's called Moneyline. I would say Moneyline it, and I could see, AJ, this is my only problem with the KO. Do you think Kopylov is going to stand there and exchange with him? I think Kopylov's going to feel those knuckles one time and go, oh, shit, I better move my feet and just take this L on the scorecard. So I could see that happening too.
Yeah, agreed. I think very possible. But good fight. Really excited for the striking matchup.
Yeah.
The next one we're coming at with the heat is our co-main event. Dan Ige, Damon Jackson. Good matchup, man. Damon Jackson's riding high off a huge win.
Hell
Dan Ige's doing the complete opposite. He's taking L's on L's on L's. But I don't think we can discredit him because the competition level has been world class. Whereas Jackson is beating decent fighters. Ige is having, tough fights, but still has moments against decent guys that are at the top end of the weight class. Mike, I'm going to go Dan Ige to win here. I think he's going to find that Jackson chin. I think he's going to channel a little Ilia Topuria, man. When I look at that fight, I said, okay, how did Ilia Topuria find Damon Jackson's head? Well, he ripped him to the body for the most part, right? So if I think Dan Ige can back Damon Jackson up and work body punches alongside the headshots, I do think he'll find the knockout strike. Even like we were talking about Dan Argueta earlier in the night. Right. In that third round, Dan Argueta is putting it on Jackson striking. He slows a bit in that later phase, right? If he's not able to be super successful with the wrestling. And then even if they're just standing up fresh, Damon Jackson is not a super quick reflex guy. He's definitely a little bit upright, a little bit stiffer with the boxing. To me, he's a guy that wants to get it to the floor. I know he's got some decent strikes, like the last one, he got a big win. But I think Dan Ige, he got the pop, man. He'll reach it over the top. And I think he's going to end them with an overhand shot. That's going to be my Mystic Mac call.
Damon Jackson beat the shit out of Pat Sabatini.
He did. It was brutal. It was a great win.
He beat the shit out of him, bro. He went out there and hurt him on the feet too. So,
yeah.
All right. So AJ gave a reference. AJ said that Dan Ige could potentially do what Topuria did, which is go to the body first and then come upstairs. I saw that on your previous breakdown, right? So I think that Damon Jackson might be able to replicate something that he just did, which was, if you guys go back and watch, I don't think the commentators even saw it, but the initial strike that hit Pat Sabatini was when Pat Sabatini ducked his head low. Damon Jackson put a knee right up the middle that clipped him a little bit, and then bang, bang, he hit him with the next couple shots. I think that's a perfect strike for Dan Ige because Dan Ige loves to bend his knees, put his head down, get low like he's a boxer, but this isn't a boxing match. I think that Damon Jackson brings that fucking knee up and knocks him out. That's my Mystic Mike pick. I'm going out on a limb. I'm saying Damon Jackson gets this by what? Nobody would ever pick this, right? I think he's going to throw that knee up the middle, just like he did in his last fight, and he's going to clip Dan Ige because Dan Ige is going to be letting his hands go, going full speed, a little desperate, right? He hasn't won many fights very recently. He's on that skid. When you pull up, I see your previous show, you pull up the Tapologies, it's like red, red, green, red, red. Nobody wants to see all that red, right? So he's going to be out there fighting for his career, and I think that pressure will hurt him against Damon Jackson. I think he's going to walk into shit, and then Damon Jackson's better on the ground. Now, I know Dan Ige's good. No, Dan Ige is good. Dan Ige is very hard to finish too, by the way. I don't think he's going to run him over like he did Pat Sabatini. But I really think the way they match up, coming down low, that knee coming up the middle, bro, I'm gonna go out on a limb on that one. Okay, I'm going crazy on that one. Damon Jackson knockout.
Let's go, Mike Finch on Damon Jackson via KO. Now I respect you going against the grain with the KO. I like it, bro. Damon Jackson's riding momentum. And he's dog. Plus 105, Damon Jackson. Minus 125, Dan Ige.
That's crazy to me, bro. Why is Damon Jackson, what is he, 24-2? Hit me with the record.
Dude, his record is, hold on.
22-4 versus 15-6. Do people just not give a shit about what your record is anymore? It doesn't even matter anymore, huh?
I'm not over obsessing about the records, but you know what? Sometimes the records do tell the tale.
they win fights, you
Mm.
know, when you
He's a
go out
winner.
there and you get in a fight and you win, it comes like a habit, you know, you go out there, you lose a fight, it becomes a habit. I think it actually does mean something.
Okay. I respect that, Mike Finch. And you're going Damon Jackson, who's an
I'm going Damon
underdog
Jackson.
in a great fight. I'm going Dan Ige on the other side. Not, albeit with not as much confidence I feel like you have towards the Jackson side. I think you're feeling even better about what I feel about Dan Ige.
Dan Ige's not as dangerous as Topuria. Like you were mentioning Topuria, but Topuria knocks Dan Ige the fuck out, bro.
Yeah,
Dan Ige does not have that type of power, AJ. I know I'm pushing you hard here, I'm just fucking around.
I do think he has a little bit of power, though. I do think he got some pop, though, because like he can crack a bit. He's not the same like touch of death that I think Topuria has. Can he find the Jackson chin? I think it would be later. I'm going against you though, man. My guns are on the other side with Ige, but I like the balls on the fucking knee right up the center. If that happens, Mike, I'm gonna standing ovation you on the live stream. I'll just stand back and just hold.
Yes, give me that standing ovation. All right, my man Dan Ige has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 UFC fights, 1 knockout. Dan Ige has 12 UFC fights.
Right, you're right.
He has 1 knockout. Just want to put
comparison.
that out there.
What's his regional
for your
record
kids
with the
at home?
knockouts? Let's see. Now I gotta go. Now I gotta defend my guy here, Mike Finch. You're putting me on the defensive over here. Holy shit!
Come on, AJ, bring it, bro.
Listen, he's got 4. He's got 4 knockouts, bro.
In the UFC,
4 knockouts, baby.
Who was he knocked out? He knocked out Gavin Tucker. Who else? Split decision over Edson Barbosa.
Oh, and he knocked out Santiago ground and pound. And then early on, he got some KOs. He's more of like a hit you and follow up type finisher, though.
Okay.
I'm not like the one shot line.
Mike Santiago is actually my guy. He used to fight for the XFO. I've commentated a couple Mike Santiago fights. Shout out to Mike Santiago. I was trying to pretend like you didn't get grounded and pounded by Dan Ige, but AJ called me out.
I had to get him. Good shit. I like it, Mike. We're on other sides. I do want to talk about your knockout prop, though, which, what the fuck?
Would be bananas, right?
Yeah, I respect that play, bro. I'm looking for it here. I don't know. It's not listed. Hold on.
Because nobody thinks it's gonna happen, bro.
No, they're like, listen, there's no shot. It's fucking impossible. No, it's not impossible, bro. And if it happens, I'll be hyped.
Anything is possible when you believe.
We got Yoel Romero with me on the chat here. Yoel,
see you soon.
Why are you turning down the fight with Nemkov, Yoel Romero? What happened, bro?
I weigh 245 pounds.
He was huge, bro. When I walked over with the phone, remember you were on live doing the live broadcast, and Yoel Romero was cage side. I was like, hang on, AJ, I got a treat for you guys. I run over to Yoel Romero. I'm like, Yoel, there's this show. Can you just say hi? Yoel says hi. He looked like the mountain from Game of Thrones. I mean, he looks like he's 250 pounds of solid muscle. I have no idea why he's calling out Johnny Eblen for the 185 title. Like, Yoel, you're never going to make 185 again, my brother. You know, it's over, Yoel. It's over. You're a heavyweight now. Can I say this? I heard the Fedor versus Ryan Bader matchup, and I'm excited for it. It's going to be my second time seeing Fedor fight live. What a treat. But AJ, I wish they would have made Fedor versus Yoel Romero. Fedor versus Yoel Romero. Is that not fire?
That would have been a great way to go out. Like I would have liked that more. I would have, but I guess they want to give him that title shot. They imagine he can go out as the Bellator champ. I get the marketing behind it, but I think it would be more hype if it was Romero, dude. I'd be more excited for it.
Numbers too. Yeah, I think Yoel Romero versus Fedor is fire.
I think that's a big fight, period, not organization based, just big fight, period.
Period, bro. Yeah. That's one of the big fights of the year. Fedor versus Yoel Romero. They're both in their 40s. Let them fight. Let them fight.
That's the fight I like. Yeah, but unfortunate. Also, I couldn't find the knockout prop yet. It's not up. We don't have it available, but we'll be talking prop bets on Wednesday. Stay tuned for this week's Best of May bets, and I'll probably list this one off.
Go see my man AJ for that one.
It's coming. It's coming. Guys, it's time for the main event, which is not the same as it was just 24 hours previously when I broke this card down. It is now Sean Strickland versus Nasruddin Imavov, the main event of UFC Vegas 67. Sean Strickland jumps in on short notice, but let's note some things like Mike Finch mentioned. This is no longer the middleweight main event. This is now a fight that's going to be fought at 205 pounds. How does that affect things for both guys? The side of Nasruddin Imavov not needing the weight cut. Does that, how much do you think that affects him, Mike? Because how much fat did he shred off extra that he wouldn't have needed to if it was, just a natural 205-pound fight? Sean Strickland on the other side coming right in on short notice, but not in training camp, still sparring actively. Like, how are you feeling about this situation? Because these are some intangibles now.
Bro, I am so up in the air about this fight. I told you guys at the beginning of the show, like I still didn't have my pick for this one because of all the intangibles. Like I could just break it down for you guys and hopefully that would be helpful. Like, so the fight being at 205 pounds is definitely a huge plus for both of these guys in different ways, right? For Sean Strickland, he's not going to have the stress of the weight cut and all the things that when you take a short notice fight and you have to cut weight, I'm thinking of like Chad Mendes versus Conor McGregor. It can really zap you. Like that can make a big difference. If Sean Strickland was making 185 pounds, I would more confidently pick Nasruddin Imavov. I would. But because he doesn't have to make 185 pounds, it's a little more interesting, right? Maybe he does keep his cardio a little better. As far as Imavov goes, that weight change, I mean, what a gift, bro. What a gift. Because he's in that type of cardio shape to make 185. And now that he doesn't have to, I mean, he has all of the benefits that you get from having to make the weight, meaning like you do that little extra road work, you do that little extra conditioning, right? To get down to that weight class. And then you don't have to make the weight. So the hard part's gone, but the good part you kept. You got to love that for Imavov. Okay, so now let's move to the short notice thing. Imavov is preparing for Kelvin Gastelum, a short, stocky bomb puncher who can wrestle a little bit. And now he's got a tall, lanky, upright boxer who just puts high output on you over a long period of time. Total style change for Imavov. For Strickland, I don't think it's nothing he hasn't seen before. So I think the short notice thing does favor Strickland in a couple stylistic ways that we could go into deeper if you want to. And then, the last thing, which is the big one, right? Which is the short notice part. How does it work for 25 minutes? It's a 5-round fight. If this was a 3-round fight, I would more confidently pick Sean Strickland, but it's 5 rounds. Man, you guys are really pressing me on this one. AJ, convince me.
Okay.
AJ. What?
Okay.
I didn't, because AJ offered to tell me before the show went live. I told him, no, I want to hear it on Moneyline. What's your pick?
Okay, I'm going to go Sean Strickland. I do believe that him being, without weight cut necessarily to drain him down on short notice is going to give him the cardio to go the 5 rounds. I think if there's any guy that you can still back with a bit of confidence coming on short notice, it's somebody that is consistently in the gym and sparring all the time, a la Sean Strickland. I do think his boxing is better than Imavov's. I feel like Imavov is a very good sniper-style kickboxer, but he's not necessarily very powerful. Sean Strickland is a guy that I think can take a good punch. I know people look at the Pereira fight, but look at with Jared Cannonier. A lot of people felt that he won the fight. I'm picking Sean Strickland. I still think it's a hard and competitive fight. I think it's going to be a lot of striking. I think Strickland definitely will start to have an edge towards the later rounds. I know Imavov preparing for 85, like you mentioned, the shape that he's going to be in. But let's talk about some concerns that I had with Imavov. It's the cardiovascular game, period. When I'm looking at him fighting Buckley and his hands are down and he's looking at the clock, and now you're matched up with a guy with a higher output than your Joaquin Buckley, and it's 5 rounds. For me, this is a gift for Sean Strickland to get a win over a kid that I really think has a bright future in the sport. I see Imavov as a guy that's going to be around that top 10 for a long time, but he's only 26. Sean Strickland, It's a must-win fight too, because can you imagine he loses here? He goes from potentially number 1 contender to 3 straight losses. I think this benefits Sean Strickland. He beats Imavov on the cards. Competitive fight, but one that Strickland pulls it off, man. So I'm going Sean.
Damn. I wonder if Sean Strickland gasses, bro, because I agree with you that you're hitting a nail on the head there, which is like one of the weapons you can use against Imavov is I don't think he's really built for 25-minute fights as to where Sean Strickland, when he's in shape, is, Sean Strickland is a little bit more of a keep chipping away at you type fighter. But is Sean Strickland going to be able to do that? Like, I know you were just telling me earlier how you've been tired in a fight. I've been a little tired in a fight, but I've definitely been tired in sparring, and I've been tired sparring Kelvin Gastelum. Like, it sucks, when you gas and you're standing in front of, whoever it is, Rafael dos Anjos. For me, I was so tired. It's like your brain wants to jab cross hook, but your body's just not quite delivering, Are we going to see Sean Strickland there? So many of these little things come down to, like, has Sean Strickland been in the gym these past couple weeks? Like, have you seen it, AJ? Have you seen a video of Sean Strickland at Extreme Couture in the past 20 days?
Oh,
I haven't. So it's like, if he's out drinking, knowing Sean Strickland, it's like coke and hookers. I don't know, So I'm gonna go Imavov. I'm gonna say Imavov is ready for this fight. He's 6'3", so the tall, rangy Sean Strickland thing he does to people is gonna be tough for him to do. I think the one thing that Sean Strickland would definitely have is like higher output, good cardio in 5 rounds, and all those things are botched because of the short notice. So I'll go Imavov in this one, but definitely not one I'm betting on. I like a bunch of those other bets much better. We gave you guys a couple dogs that we liked. I like that, well, we'll get into the locks in a second, but, I'm going to enjoy watching this fight. Props to Sean Strickland. You do have a set of balls on you, my friend, for stepping in there on 6 days notice to do this. And, I hope he's in shape, and I hope it's a phenomenal fight. AJ, I could see Sean Strickland doing what you're saying too, but too many intangibles for me to be like, yeah, go bet on it.
This is one of the trickiest picks though, because it's like the intangibles here are, we don't know. Like, these are serious we don't knows. We know Imavov is preparing to fight 5 rounds. Now, granted, against Kelvin Gastelum at 185, we know Sean Strickland, I think he actually just, like, I saw a post on his IG I was just looking at. He had his motorcycle in like a tree. So I guess he recently maybe crashed that bike. But I know Sean Strickland's crazy as hell. I think he's ready to go, man. I'm going to go with him. But yeah, be cautious, please, guys. If you're going to bet Sean Strickland, you're in a dangerous zone. Be careful.
Did you just say his motorcycle was in a tree?
He was in a tree, bro. Yeah. On his IG.
Okay. And you're picking him.
I'm picking him, bro. I'm picking him. I think that if there's a guy that can get a motorcycle accident on Monday, fucking skiing on a Tuesday, and kick someone's ass on a Saturday, it's Sean Tarzan Strickland, baby. I'm riding with him, man. I think Sean can do it. But the odds are not bad. They're not wide at all. It's -115 Strickland, -105 Imavov. Opening lines. I expect him to favor Imavov by the end of the week. I'd see plus money. Sean Strickland still probably has been doing weekly sparring, even if that's all he's been doing. True. That's what I'd assume. I don't know how much intense training. He's probably just going to the gym and sparring the shit out of people.
His boys are fighting, right? Yeah. But he was in a 5-round fight. Like, you'd have to think you take some time, Like, I love training all the time too. I love doing martial arts, but like after you fight, you're sore as shit. You're like, give me an ice pack. Give me, rip a bong. I don't know, chill, hang out with my family. It's not the like the same itch you get to go train. Like, you need to take a couple weeks off, and it's kind of bizarre how quickly cardio goes away, man. I was in pretty good shape. I was in pretty good cardio shape in like November, and then I took those like December, a couple weeks off there in December, and then I went to go roll, and I gassed hard. Like, you'll if you're not training hard, just 2-3 weeks off, your cardio is gonna go down like a sled hill, man. So those intangibles make it, at least so I'm certainly not betting on Sean Strickland. Now, if you guys were already confident in Imavov, and when you hear that matchup, now you got short notice Sean Strickland, you got to smash Imavov. But if you're thinking Sean Strickland, just take these things into account. That's all.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I'm thinking this main event is one that I'm going to sit on before thinking I'm going to bet it up. But yeah, I'm going Sean Strickland. Fucking change of fight. We're on the opposite sides here, Mike. With the Gastelum fight, who were you picking?
Yeah, I liked Kelvin in that fight just because he's at Fight Ready, and I saw all the road work he was doing. We have a couple mutual friends who he trains with over there at Fight Ready, and I actually messaged Kelvin back and forth trying to get him on the show. He said he'd come after the fight, and of course, unfortunately, now the fight's not happening. But I did have my my ear to the door on the training camp, and I was able to actually see a little bit of what he was doing at Fight Ready. I thought the move was great. Not to say that King's MMA isn't great. Obviously, I'm always big love and respect for Rafael Cordero and King's MMA, but Henry Cejudo's got a cool little thing going over there at Fight Ready, and there's a reason why Figgy was able to go beat Moreno again. There's a reason why Wei Li got her wrestling on point. At Fight Ready, they do have a nice little mix. It's a nice little science they got going. And Felipe Buenas just won the LFA title. So shout out to him. Congratulations. And man, they're on a roll over there at Fight Ready. So don't bet against Fight Ready. They've been killing it, and I thought it'd be good for Kelvin. Although another fight that would be a great fight, Imavov is a real test. Kelvin's 5'9", and Imavov is 6'3". Not that I will definitely admit Kelvin beat me in sparring, but the moments I've been able to spar with Kelvin, if I'm able to do anything, it's on the outside. You don't want to stand in front of Kelvin and kind of just bang with him. You want to move around, use your legs, and I thought Imavov actually was an interesting problem for him, because Imavov does thrive on that outside, being 6'3" and 185 pounds, and Kelvin Gastelum, one of the smaller 185 pounders. So there were some problems that Kelvin would have to overcome. But as you said, Kelvin been 5 rounds. Imavov not a 5-round fighter. What a strange turn of events, my brother.
I'm disappointed, dude, because I was on plus money. Kelvin Gastelum, he was my dog of the week. I was spoiled. He was my dog of the week. I was ready to fucking hit it down. I was hype as hell for the matchup. And now things shifted, so it's all changing. But what we do got to talk about, Mike Finch, is our UFC Vegas 67 lock of the night. It's lock of the nighttime, not the card that we originally anticipated just yesterday, just an hour before the show. I mean, Mike Finch sent me the text and I said, shit, I got to get ready to fucking break down a new main event. I'm looking at it as a great card with good talent, and I want to lock with value. Yes, there are some big favorites that are, quality as far as locks go, but I'm going to go with the value lock. I'm going to say Punale Soriano. I like his chances. I think at minus 150, he's a very playable lock. So yes, Punale Soriano, my lock of the week this week. Mike, what is your lock?
My brother, I think you have it with this power puncher, man. I don't think the odds are too bad on this one. If you don't mind reminding me, Claudio Ribeiro it should be able to knock out Alhassan, and the odds were close on that one, yes?
Yeah, like about minus 115, minus 110. It's even money, essentially.
I think they fucked that one up. I think he's getting a knockout in this fight. If you guys just money line that sounds like some cash to me.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I think that Alhassan is ripe for getting flatlined again, man. I don't think he's got it for this young prospect. I feel like a guy coming off a nice win on Contender Series, to throw him Alhassan, I do think the matchmakers are feeling good about it, right? Do you want to just destroy your prospect as soon as he comes in? I don't think that's what they're thinking. I think they look at Alhassan and they say, oh, this is a hard fight for him. He's a name. He's fought good competition. He's got some power and he likes to fight. Entertainment value here. Chance of Ribeiro winning also here. So yes, I'm with you, bro. I think it's a great lock. You and I both, we got some quality locks, man. And I want to see what we can come up with for our parlay.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Mike, we got to come up with
doors and let you out into the world. I can't start doing, bro.
Yeah, You knew it. Mike, give me your parlay, man. I'm curious what you're thinking on this one. We got some quality fights and some decent lines. What are you thinking, brother?
I like Ketlen Vieira, man. I think Ketlen Vieira is going to be a problem for these ladies. And Rocky Pennington, we're getting towards the end of the career for Rocky Pennington. This is one of the last hurrahs here. I don't think she sees that title shot. I do think she's going to struggle on the outside with Ketlen Vieira. I think Ketlen Vieira is better on the ground as well. Rocky's best chance is probably to clinch and make this fight kind of suck. I don't think it will. I think Ketlen Vieira is going to do double the output with the boxing, let her legs go, absolutely attack the lead leg of Rocky Pennington. And Andre Pedernera's is expressing his martial arts through this woman, and she gets better every time she's out. Clearly, I got Ketlen Vieira, and I damn near locked her as well. That's the first part of the parlay. Second part of the parlay, I want to throw in a dog, man. I'm going to go out on a limb and put my guy Carlos Hernandez in there. People are sleeping on him. I know you guys like Nascimento. I know Nascimento is good on the ground, but in order to get it to the ground, he has to be able to out-wrestle Carlos Hernandez. I don't think he does that. I don't think his like unset up kicks are going to be enough on the feet. I think Carlos Hernandez picks away at him and comes from behind, gets a nice little decision victory. I got Carlos Hernandez and Ketlen Vieira.
That right there is plus 600. So that's some money right there. Mike Finch on it with the parlay this week, man. If that one cashes, you guys are coming home big. Now, for me, I'm thinking I am going to be, slightly towards the safer side. I don't have the same hype play to do like you do, Mike Finch. I think Javid Basharat for me is a piece that I really would like to add. I know it's risky to do such a thing, but I am going to double down on my lock and add in Punahele Soriano on the mix. So now you're just looking at plus 110. I'm not feeling great about that money. I need a little more, man. I need something to get me excited. I think you know what? If there's a lady to throw down on, it is Ketlin Vieira. So you got plus 295, Basharat, Soriano, Vieira, 3 winners that I really do. I don't think it's a bad idea to play such a thing.
Throw Nurmagomedov in there at that point. Come on.
If you throw Nurmagomedov in, if you throw in Charles Johnson, let's just go bananas. You throw Rębecki in.
That's what I'm saying.
Plus 570. Now you got nearly.
Now you're on my side. Come on, dog. Get up to 600. You need one more.
All right, we got one more. What else we adding in? I got plus 570. Damn, dude, you're killing me, man. Who the fuck?
I'm fucking around with you, bro.
Holy shit. Man. I don't know. I guess Ribeiro plus 1175.
Whoa. AJ, if you hit that, come on.
Let's go. Let's just read it off. You guys got the Hail Mary already. Look at this. Basharat, Punahele Soriano, Ketlin Vieira, Umar Nurmagomedov, Charles Johnson, Mateus Rębecki, Claudio Ribeiro plus 1175. That is not your $100 parlay. That's your Mystic Mac wild ass lottery ticket play.
Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary.
Yeah. Basharat, Soriano, Vieira, big 3 plus 170 is not a bad idea to do. That's money.
I'm with it, bro. I mean, we were, I was kind of fucking around. Like, you guys know when you do crazy Hail Marys like that, they generally don't hit. Although, shout out to my friend Stone Dax, who hit like a 10-fight parlay once. It's sweet when it happens. It is sweet when it happens for sure. But stay safe. I do think like 2 or 3 fights for a parlay is good. And yeah, you guys saw what we're confident on in this card. Dude, I think these are going to be fun fights. I hope they're going to kick off the year right. I think so. It'll be interesting to see if Dana's in the building. Do you think so?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to hope so.
All right.
I'm going to hope.
Hopefully he's sitting next to his wife and they're holding hands.
I hope that too. Yeah, that'd be sweet. That'd be real sweet. We'll see, Mike Finch. I don't know on that one, brother. I'm excited for the card, guys. I think it's going to be a heat week. Another great episode of the Moneyline Down. We're sorry that Kelvin Gastelum didn't come through. That would have been fucking legendary, but you know
Sent him the link.
We tried, guys.
Mike I did. I DM'd Kelvin. I sent him the link. But you know what? He's got so much shit going on today, bro. I'm sure ESPN wants to talk to him. Here I am like, dude, come on my YouTube show. So
he's like, get
all good. Kelvin, it's all good. Hey, Kelvin punched me in the face. You never punched any of these ESPN guys. You could show me some love. No, it's all good. We'll get him on, and we'll do that before his next fight. Yeah,
I would like that. Yeah. Look at the UFC athletes page. Danny Sabatello listed on the page. I doubt he's in the UFC. Trust me, he's not in the UFC. That right there is from when he fought on the Contender Series, brother.
Yeah, just to let you know. Danny Sabatello is over here on the dark side of Bellator.
Yeah.
And he's he'll be back. It was pretty tough, man, walking back with him like after that loss. He thought he won every round, so like I took the long walk back with him all the way down, and they haven't even posted it yet. It's on my cell phone. I would love to share it, but I'm kind of sitting on it because I think they might want to use it for his next fight. It's definitely a piece, and man, what an emotional moment for him. Can you imagine letting $1 million slip through your fingers just because you didn't ground and pound enough? I think he'll learn from it. I think he'll get better, but trust me, he is a Bellator fighter.
Yeah, he's a Bellator guy. Is Monday permanent? Yes. Our plan forthcoming is going to be Moneyline Mondays. You got Taco Tuesdays.
I saw that earlier.
I don't know what else there is. You know what I'm saying? What's on Thursday, bro? Is it
Hump Day is Wednesday. Throwback Thursday.
Throwback Thursday. Fuck it
Friday.
Yeah, fucking
Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday. Fuck it Friday.
Fuck it Friday.
Straight UFC Saturdays. I don't know. I don't got no good rhyme, but it's Moneyline Mondays. Don't miss it. 8 o'clock every single Monday. Shout out to the people watching live. Also, shout out to the replay gang. I think that this Moneyline Monday is going to give the replay gang a ton of opportunity to listen to the podcast sometime throughout the week. So we appreciate you too. Definitely leave us a comment what you think of the picks. If you don't have anything to say, drop the W in the not just in the live chat. Drop the W in the comments, and run the likes up on the stream too, man. We really appreciate that feedback and love. And subscribe. Goal is closing in towards 13,000, getting closer by the day. So that'd be pretty heat.
We love it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you every single Monday with some fight breakdowns. We hope you love it. Bet responsibly, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you all for tuning in, guys. Peace, and we will see you very soon.